Hi everybody, it's Sheila with Designs by Babymoon, and today I wanted to show you real quick how to sew up the itty bitty mini angel snap tabs. So we have this design in an ornament and several variations on the ornament, but I made it into a snap tab because I know that this is going to be a really nice little holiday treat, or maybe you have somebody special that you just want to remember with a little angel ornament. So join me over at my sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how to make one real quick. Let me tell you what you'll need first. You'll need some kind of vinyl, upholstery vinyl. If you have some that you've been saving that doesn't work on your regular stamp tabs because it's too soft or whatever, this one has a real light stitch around it. It's mostly bean stitches and then the little flower. You could leave it off if you want. I have a version over here that I just left it off because it was such a pretty little angel. And I did it on glitter. Look at all that sparkle. That's a great way to get the pink sparkle. I did it on glitter vinyl that I got from mypunkembroidery.com. This one is also, the other one I showed you, the white one with the pink flower that I dropped on the floor, is white geo glitter from my punk embroidery. So, but if you have regular upholstery vinyl that you've used just scraps or whatever, you can use that too. This is super fast and easy, and the design file is over on the website www.designsbybabymoon.com. So you'll need the design file, you'll need some vinyl of some sort, upholstery vinyl, your thread, your embroidery machine obviously, and then you'll also need cam snaps, a snap plier to apply them with, or rivets if you're gonna not use it as a snap, and then some kind of a hardware. You can use a key ring, or you can use these super fun 3/4 inch lobster snap clasps. So grab your supplies and meet me over at my embroidery machine. Okay, so what I've already done is I've already stitched out the placement stitches for the two angels in a 4x4 hoop size, and these stitch out so fast and easy, so even two won't take long at all. This design has 5 steps. It has the placement stitch, then it has an inner part of the angel, which is the main body of the angel, and I like to run that in a contrasting color. So I just went ahead and did the placement stitch with the dark color that will contrast with the material that I'm going to use. The next step is 5 petals of a flower that goes around the edges, which on my machine is very hard to see those, but that's it. So there's the flowers, there's the middle of the flower, which those can be the same or contrasting colors, and then there's an outline that encases the design with the front and the back both together. So I'll walk you through those steps, but for right now what I've got is the placement stitch so that you know where to lay your material. And what I'm going to put down on top of it is this is just upholstery vinyl, but it's called white geo glitter. I got it from mypunkembroidery.com, and this beautiful gold color has all these rainbows in it, so I love it so much. So anyway, I'm going to use that, and the step that we're going to stitch next is step number 2, and that is the middles, which is the angel outline, which is the main part of the design. So let's stitch that out really quick. Okay, so you can see we've got both of those angels stitched out. The material does reflect quite a bit, so it's kind of hard to see. And then what I've done is I've loaded the next color for the flower part that goes in the center of the angel. Now you can skip this part completely if you like, but I'm going to go ahead and do it in a contrasting color. I like high contrast when I'm using my materials, which is why I did the outline in a very dark brown, and I plan on using a dark brown snap to finish it off. So, but I'll see how this flower comes out. If this flower comes out well against this golden material, then I might choose to use a dark orange snap that matches the color of the flower too. So let's see what happens. So you can see the perfect little flowers that I've stitched out, and now I'm going to run the next step in a bright yellow to be the center of the flowers. Now again, you could leave this step off completely. At this point, if you could do the flower, and then if you might want to use a hot fix crystal or even glue a flat back rhinestone crystal into the center of this design. So just make sure that whatever glue you use or whatever brand of hot fix crystals you use have a very durable adhesive on the back. So because they're a key fob, they'll get bumped and mess around. But I haven't ever had trouble with any of the Swarovski crystals that I've used that are heat fixed crystals, or even using the Candies glue to apply crystals. So let's go ahead and sew the middles real fast. Okay, so here are our completed angels. The design, the flower has the outer petals and the inner circle filled in. And so what I'm going to do is I take my hoop off of my machine, flip it over, and I'm going to use a little bit of sticky spray. Now the back of mine is messy because I've got a tension issue that I have to, this machine's got to go into the shop. And it's ready. It's time for, it's overdue for its checkup. I put 505 spray on the back, and I'm going to lay a piece of blackboard vinyl on the back. Now this is a very durable, inexpensive vinyl that I get at Joann's Fabrics. It's in the section by the burlap. And I use it on the backs of nearly every snap tab I make, just because it's so thin and durable. I've left the same color yellow in my threaded on my machine, and I'm going to run the final step, the outline stitch that's going to secure the back onto the thing, onto the design, so that you have a finished project, and all that back stitching will not show at all once you take it off the hoop. So let's sew that outline real quick. Okay, we've got our two little angels stitched, and that final outline stitch goes all the way around. When I flip my hoop over, you can see that on the back it totally encloses all of the stitching. Now, I could have trimmed a 4x4 piece of this blackboard material, but I just put the whole piece on there because I could see where it needed to be because of that placement stitch that we had on before. So I just want to make sure I cover that completely and leave a little bit around for trimming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these. I'm going to leave probably about 1/8 of an inch or slightly less around the stitching as I cut out. And I use my regular Ginger dressmaker shears for cutting just because they have nice long blades, and that works for me. Some people like to use the scissors with shorter blades and make smaller cuts, and that works out fine too. Actually, on these angels, I might switch to a smaller blade in these little areas, but the long blades make nice smooth cuts, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'll cut those out and be right back. Okay, so what we've got now are two angels cut out from the hoop, and you can see that they are just little things. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply some cam snaps. And cam snaps are plastic or resin snaps, and you can get these actually at even Joann's or Hobby Lobby in the Sewing Notions set section. And they come with an awl, but I've misplaced mine, so I'm just going to use the standard seam ripper to poke a hole where I want my snaps to be. So I'm just, and that will make them go in easier, and it will make them apply better. So I'm watching out that I don't poke my finger. If you were being more careful than I was, you would use a better surface. But I'm going to poke my holes in both of these so that I can get the snaps in. And I'll be right back. Okay, to actually put the snaps onto the back, I have my holes punched. I have my snaps that I've poked through the front, and so the little point is sticking through the back. And so what I'm going to do is I've got a socket and a stud, and I'm going to put either a socket or a stud on the opposite ends from each other. So I like to put the studs at the top right here at the end of the tab, and then the sockets closer to the body of the tab. And I just put them in my cam snap squeezer, and give it a little squeeze, and those snaps are set. I've already done this one, so these are both done. And now I'm going to grab my lobster clasps and just thread that through, give it a snap. That one's done. Do the same thing with this one. And voila, in no time at all, you have two adorable little angel with flower snap tabs. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'd love to see how yours come out. Thanks for watching.